Thank you. Good afternoon. I'm just going to start by telling you a little bit about myself so that you can understand why this is my interest. So I was born in London, I went to school in London, I trained as a nurse in London, and I lived in London until I was in my 40s. And I had 3 children there, all of whom went to school in London. And then we moved out to the country, and it is so much better, I can't tell you, particularly for the children. I think big cities are a great time a great place to be when you're in your 20s and working and single, but not a great place for small children. So I'm going to talk to you about why country boarding schools are a good option for your children. So very obviously healthier, the air is cleaner, there are fewer cars, less pollution, and much more space for outdoor activities and sport, and safer because of less traffic, and also lower crime rates make it safer. And one of the things you might not think about is because the local population is lower, you have a lot more boarders. Whereas in a city where there are lots of people living nearby, you have more day pupils and fewer boarders. So there are lots of schools here today, 25 schools from all different parts of the UK. And I apologise to Scotland, don't tell Scotland that I'd cut them off the top. But these 2 maps show where you have bigger concentrations of population, and it's easier to see on the green map. Where the pale green is the most sparse areas where there are fewer people. So you can see London's here, bigger cities up here, Manchester, Liverpool, Cardiff and Swansea. But lots of nice areas where there's not so many people, out in the east there, down in the west, in North Wales and up in the north. And this is just to show, this is some of our kids, this is their playground. This is the sort of environment that in a country boarding school your children will be living. So some of this you will like, but your children will not like. So we've already said the clean air is definitely healthier, but it's also a calm environment, much easier to study when the environment is calm and nice. And fewer distractions. In a big city, there's a lot more to do outside, like going to the movies and nightclubs, and they're just not available in the country. They're not exposed to the sophistication of lots of makeup and all the rest of it. And most of our pupils, without realising, will develop a lifelong love of being outdoors. And they may not immediately, when they leave school, they want to go to the big city, but as they get older, they will come back to it and they will realise what a great legacy it is to enjoy hiking and climbing and walking and etc. And the other thing that we find is a physical challenge is a good thing for a pupil to achieve, and it raises their self-esteem, and I'll talk a bit more about that in a minute. And the other thing we find as well is that pupils become very aware of the environment. They're very they're proud of their lovely environment. A lot of our pupils, because we're near the sea, get very upset about plastic islands, and so they're very on environmental issues. And you get a wonderful opportunity to take learning outside. So up here we have can't see him, I think that Mr. Francis is in there somewhere. The head of geography is here doing coastal erosion with the pupils. Much better to be out there looking at it than just sitting at a desk trying to learn it. You remember it much better. So in this one they were doing chemistry levels of copper in water up on the moor, and here in biology they're dissecting a rabbit. What we find as well is by doing something fun outdoors like this, it groups the children together. They become very good friends. When you've met a challenge like canyoning together, it builds up a good environment for the children, good relationships, and they get on well because they've done this together. And you can just see by the expressions on their faces how good they feel about having achieved this. It's fun. And we also have the opportunity to do other activities which are very good on your CV. If you go to university in the UK, it's not just about getting A stars, you need to have done lots of other things as well. And it's great if this is just on your doorstep. It makes it really easy to go out and do things like trekking and your Duke of Edinburgh awards and things like that, which are really crucial to your CV. And there's also the opportunity for lots of activities at the weekend. The children who work the best are the ones who are kept occupied. If you have nothing to do, then you do nothing. And again, if you want to get your Duke of Edinburgh awards, which are really good on your CV, then you need to be doing new skills for each section, and this is a great opportunity. Learn to sail, learn to ride, whatever it is. So it's really good. The children can't just do their academic studies all the time. They do need to be doing other things, and you need to have lots of opportunity to do that, and a country boarding school allows a lot for that. And also just on a Sunday, a lot of schools will offer things where you can again learn more skills, but it's a bit more relaxed. So where we are, we're near the sea, so surfing is quite popular to learn, or just going for a walk as a group again. And really, just to sum up, I think being in the country, it just keeps your children younger for longer. They don't get so sophisticated so quickly. And what I really love as well is seeing the girls, even you, sometimes, you know, going around class with makeup and whatever, looking quite sophisticated, and then the next minute in their CCF kit, running around outside, muddy, having a really good time. Yeah? Thank you.